we have a lot to cover with, so let's make the recap a little short. So, long story short, Vinyl is a vampire. Octavia sadly became a lichen pony. And there is a group dedicated to ensuring that they keep well hidden. Well, blended in towards society. But there is an organization that threatens to reveal what these creatures are. These vampires and lichens. And Equestria was not prepared for it, as this was written in 2012, and we didn't have Lyra and Bonbon openly marrying each other yet. So even same-sex marriage was not a good idea in Equestria. And there is an organization that's just trying to out these and ruin the lives. And Vinyl almost got them all in fucking trouble, blowing up a fucking printing press over this shit. "2012, yeah, that was a long ass time ago. And I'm determined to actually finish this up. So, without further ado, let's go on to 18 of My Roommate is a Vampire. The chapter name, Cool Mayors Don't Look at Explosions. Flurries of snow began to drift down from the heavens, the sky abysmally gray and gloomy, yet the snow was white, pure and clean. A new leaf was turned over. And so began the transition of the seasons of fall to winter. A merry time approached, filled with tidings and joy, a grand galloping gala and a heart-warming eve. Outside, the world is freezing, chilled to the bone. On the inside, things were getting hot. Beads of sweat rolled down my furry body as I clenched the sheets, tearing into them with my claws. Vinyl was panting, working her magic. "Oh yes, Vinyl, yes!" My cries grew louder and louder. Vinyl grunted hard at work. "Right there! Don't you dare stop!" I felt all the troubles melt away, my body falling limp. "All right! Already! More sex! I'm gonna fucking regret this!" "That was the best massage I ever had," I breathed. What did I walk into? Fuck if I know! "I got something for you," said Vinyl. "For me? It's not even my birthday." She rolled her eyes, dashing off to another room and coming back with several items in her magic grip. I figured since winter is on its way. "Oh, Vinyl, you shouldn't have," I squealed, touching, hugging her. "Don't thank me yet." I caught the first articles of clothing. A hoodie. "How wonderful," I stated flatly. "Put him on first." I reluctantly poked my head through the black cloak, grumbling. "Hoodies are very juvenile." Vinyl pulled the hood over my head unexpectedly. "By me!" I cried. "Relax, see? I look like a hoodlum! I look like a hoodlum!" "No, you look like no pony. That's the point." I pretended to understand. "And with these, God, not your shades!" "I wear them for a reason, Octi." These were a pair of aviator shades, large with reflective lenses and subdued frames. Certainly stylish if I were a Pegasus. With the entire ensemble complete, I look like, Vinyl on most nights. Look inside the collar. A small tab inserted in the front of the jacket. I bit down, pulling it up. "A mask?" "Doesn't sound like a mask," I mumbled, my words muffled by the thing in my face. "They're for emergencies when you gotta bail out. That way, no pony can see your face," Vinyl reasoned, pleased with herself. "Or if you could wear something, or you could wear something else if you don't like it." I like it. I like it a lot. It's very thoughtful of you. Celestia knows how many ponies are after you and I. I trotted over to my closet, pulling out my favorite black wooden pea coat and purple scarf. I completed the look with her sunglasses, trotting around in a circle to show off. How do I look? Very inconspicuous, Final clopped her hooves in approval. If you're going to be disguising yourself, you gotta learn how to change accents. Accents? I have no accent. Yeah, you do. No, I do not. I can hear you right now, and you have one of the most heavy Canterlot accents I ever heard. The second some pony hears you, they'll know who you are. Well, you hardly sound like a Ponyville pony either. You sound more Manhattanite, I huffed. And whatever happened to that snooty Canterlot accent? I thought they were hereditary. She giggled. You do know my folks fake their accents, right? I gasped. No way. Yes way. It'd be a scandal. Shh. Say it with me. Tomato. Tomato. No, you're saying it all facey. Tomato. Tomato. No, you keep doing that thing. What thing? That thing where you, I don't know, make your voice all posh. You keep saying it like tomato. Come on, tomato. Tomato. She slapped me. Anyways. Fast forward. We're at the meeting of the inner circle of creatures that have yet to be revealed. Nuna declared, as I'm sure you're all aware, 2 nights ago there was an explosion on the top floor of Equestria Daily. She trots around, letting her words sink in for a dramatic emphasis. Caused by a gas leak. Some members of the inner circle tittered, snickering and snorting. Sometimes that happens when I try to bake my muffins. Vinyl asked, Derpy, seriously, how the heck did you get in here? Through the door, silly! Vinyl pointed for her to leave. She crashed through the door. At least she used it this time. Of course, Luda sighed. You and I know that this is not the case, of course. Jeez, I knew Vinyl Scratch had a short fuse. At least the bomb was smaller. Yeah, she didn't level the entire building this time. It was supposed to be an improvement. Could have been worse. How could it have been worse? It could have been like last time. Oh yeah, that was pretty bad. Vinyl snapped her jaws, extending her fangs. All fell silent immediately, cowered by her show of dominance. It probably has something to do with hierarchy. Even vampires have their own food chain. She threw her purple shades down, winking at me. Indeed, Luna clicked her tongue. Regardless, I'm postponing any meetings until further notice. Before anyone could protest, she held her hoof up in silence. This is not because of Vinyl's recent actions, though they may have potentially compromised this group. While her actions may have been reckless, judging by the pony on the 3rd floor to the window on the left with a pair of binoculars, I'm assuming that they are not bird watching. Silence. I felt a chill run down my spine. Fleur squeezed Fancy Pants a little tighter. When every pony slowly started to shift to sea, she snapped, Do not turn to look. We are being watched. I will conclude this meeting in 10 seconds, and you will all shuffle out of here and be on your way. We all nodded subtly. Lest you all forget, it seems that we are at war. No pony wanted to stick around for obvious reasons. The lichens darted off into the bushes about as subtle as Vinyl. The vampires slunk off into the alleyways and shadows. As for Vinyl Scratch, she was on her way to work, which left me all by my lonesome self to trot to home. Even as I took my regular path back to the apartment, I felt uneasy, like I was being watched. Turning around will reveal only empty street. I could smell someone, hear their footsteps. I just couldn't pinpoint where they are. I dashed up the stairs as fast as I could. A note on our apartment door with a picture of Vinyl Scratch crossed out with red ink, presumably blood. A message was scrawled at the bottom saying, Miss Silverstreak sends her regards. At my hooves was a copy of the latest edition of Canterlot Today with a picture of Equestria Daily after it had bombed. Fuck me. Tonight, Vinyl was the star of the show, and she is in trouble. Fireblaze like, Vampire Hunter, well, there is an organization that wants to out these creatures and make their lives a living hell. Look at these freaks! Look at these fucking freaks! They don't belong in Equestria and shit like that. But, yeah. Let's fast forward to Club Canterlot. In my head, my brain was already working on a plan. An improvement to having none at all. I sneak in quietly, warn Vinyl, and hope to get as many ponies out as I could. A Pegasus wing extended with lightning speed. Hey, back in the line! I swapped the offending appendage away from my face. I'm a friend of the DJ. Well, I don't see your name on the VIP list, drawled the bouncer. I don't have time for this. I ducked to the crowd, slinking through, trying to focus on the stage that seemed so far away with the pounding beats of apparently, and there's another link to this, Cascade Love, Cascade's Ice Mix. I don't know what that sounds like, but you'll look it up. There was no point in screaming Vinyl's name. I doubt she could hear me over the music in the crowd. There were several deafening explosions in quick succession. They already began setting off the bombs. Ponies around me screamed and panicked, scrambling towards the exit. I forced my weight against him, pushing and shoving, trying to get closer to Vinyl. Almost there when I hear, Octavia, duck! I hit the ground, faster than I thought I could. Several objects whizzed overhead, slicing through the air, shattering against the opposite wall with terrifying accuracy and speed. Vinyl was hurdling her records with her magic. The club had cleared out in less than minutes, leaving only me, Vinyl, and several other uninvited guests with silver coats. At least no one got hurt. Not yet. Good job, Octavia. Always on the bright side of things. Vinyl! Don't worry, they're Sapphire Shores. I was going to warn you about the armed cultists intending on murder us all, but you know what? Fair enough. I sprinted, ducking as I fell. More objects slammed to the dance floor beneath my hooves, rolling over the bar and taking cover. A few seconds later, more loud pops as Vinyl slid into cover next to me. You alright? Just great, I muttered. Vinyl, they're right to place to blow. I screamed as a volley of fire slammed into the wall opposite of us, leaving vicious holes. It wasn't a good idea being hit with those things. Looks like they got guns, Vinyl hollered. They got what? I shouted. Oh, we have weaponry? I guess they went advanced since Pinkie Pie introduced a party cannon. Jesus, this was fast. Griffin arms, Vinyl said. Flintlocks, the kind you gotta have claws to use. You point and shoot, they go bang. Tell me how you know about these things? I shouted over the gunfire. She ignored me. Looks like they got them loaded with silver bullets. This is just great. We can run now. Hide in the streets. There has to be an exit. Vinyl's records had to keep him at bay for only a second or two. And sure enough, a few seconds into the next song, another fucking link in this fanfic. And this one is for another track I have no idea about. Meekix the Cat, Girls. Yeah. We had some partners on the dance floor. Now they're back. Unicorns, Pegasi, Earth Ponies, maidens in coats dyed silver, armed to the teeth with weighted horseshoes and guns. I thought silver only carried werewolves. Apparently vampires too. Ready to die, vampire! The wolf's mine! Vinyl screamed, I'll cut off your fucking heads, all of you! I gawked, absolutely mortified at the words coming out of her mouth. She rolled her eyes. I'm not really going to cut off their heads, we just got to make them think we will. Somehow it seemed counterproductive to act like monsters when the very thing that we were trying to do was to dispel that sort of image. I sighed in relief. Maybe. Vinyl! Relax, will you? Stay here. I'll go talk to them. She paused and said, Actually, I'm going to kill them. Excuse me. No, wait, don't hurt them. Are you kidding me? And there she goes. From the safety of the bar, I watched her fight faster than ever. She was using her gift of speed and strength to wreak havoc on the Silver Horseshoes' forces. And she was grinning. She was loving this. The heat of the battle, the smell of blood. I watched with a mixture of morbid fascination and horror. As Vinyl screamed at the top of her lungs of threats to desecrate their bodies and profane battle cries. Oh, so basically we were introduced to Revy in Black Lagoon. Right. As for me, well, my thoughts of, come on, go out there. Are you insane? Let me out. I want to play. I would have been incredibly disturbed by the whiny voice asking to essentially come out and cause physical harm if it wasn't for the extenuating circumstances. I roared, unleashing my bestial form, lunging and tackling the first pony I saw on the ground. I felt stronger, faster, braver, a little stupider, if that was even a word. About time you cut loose. Even when fighting, Vinyl had her own sense of style and flair. She was unpredictable, dancing and stumbling around, losing her balance frequently. She somersaulted through the air and pulling fancy kicks and flips, but I, on the other hoof, decided against being flashy, resorting to basically ramming my hooves into their heads, smashing beer bottles into their heads, slamming their head into the closest thing I could find, like a table, my face, the ground. We were doing quite a number. They were already making their retreat, helping their comrades to their hooves and dragging them out for reinforcements to come. Time to go, Vinyl, Vinyl called. I'm sorry. Time to go, Vinyl called. I couldn't agree more. Vinyl, what are you doing? I hollered. We gotta grab one of them. This'll all be for nothing. We don't get some answers. Vinyl dragged along with an unconscious cultist. Here, put him on my back. I shoved myself through the doors, trying to hobble as far away as I could. What are you running for? That's not cool. You have to trot away from the explosion. Club Canterlot is about to blow the smithereens. Are you concerned about how cool you look? I screeched, struggling to drag the unconscious stallion along with me, grabbing his mane by my teeth. The explosion rips through the night, magnificent in fury. Or fiery. Yeah, fiery. Vinyl trotted slowly, almost casually, as debris rained down upon us. Fast forward. Luna says we can use whatever methods to interrogate him. Really? No, actually, we're not supposed to lay a hoof on him, Vinyl patted, and she's having some pony come over to arrest him and process him later. But he doesn't know that, I stated. Good cop, bad cop? First off, that never works, says Vinyl. It's gotta be both bad cops. Instead, we're emotionally unstable, psychopathic, lesbian, supernatural demons with homicidal tendencies and a penchant for cold-blooded torture. That's going to be a good pickup line. Or hell, some kind of line to use. We're not cops. We're psychopathic lesbian super demons. Vinyl, that sounded absolutely horrendous. I know, it was going to be so awesome. You scare me. And this is coming from a Lycan. I had no idea how interrogations work. I figured they were like job interviews, except instead of your manager, you have a pony with no sense of morals, ethics, or a conscience. Instead of a nice air-conditioned office, you weren't in a dark closet with a single bulb strapped to a cold chair. Do you have a job, or do you still live in your mom's basement? I had a feeling this pony did. What's your name? I asked calmly. No answer. Okay, since you're not answering, I dubbed Teeth Dirtbag, Vinyl snapped. Vinyl, not very nice. I'm not nice. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Yeah, you wouldn't like her when she's angry anyway. Vinyl continued to hiss. So maybe you should tell me what you know about Silver Streak and your little club. You should. Vinyl rolled eyes. You'll scare me, he spat. What would it take for you to tell us where Silver Streak is? For you all to die! Will you answer us if we make out? Wait, what, Vinyl? No! The ghoul sputtered. Vinyl turned to me. Let's do it. Vinyl, what the hell are you doing? Just roll with it. We kissed, and we both made it very passionate. Sloppy, messy, with plenty of tongue action and saliva. I pulled away, feeling a little violated. Was that completely necessary? Nah, I just wanted to do it. Who knows how long later, Vinyl was getting fed up. She lunged and started to choke him. You like air? I do too. And I'm wasting it trying to get answers out of you, she shouted, shaking him around as he turned blue. Vinyl? No, out. Excuse me, good sir, would you please tell me where your base of operations is? No. Pretty please with the cherry on top? No, I'll never tell. Sprinkles? What do you think the answer is? I slammed the door shut with a huff. How did it go? Asked Vinyl. He didn't talk. What technique did you try? Asking nicely. What other method can we try? You want to stay a cult? Snip, snip. Vinyl, put those head tremors away right now. You said we can't kill him, or her, once we're finished with him. Why don't we use the kitchen scissors? No! How about the new bread knife we just got out for a kitchen sink? Serrated edges are really good for cutting, I heard. Maybe the paring knife. Nah, too small. How about the butter knife? You can't cut with those. Who said? I think he passed out. Wake him up again. I dunked a bucket of ice cold water on his head. Hey, what's soaking wet and clueless? Vinyl snatched the bucket from me and slammed it over his head with a thunk. Your face! He groaned. All that's missing is just having a little Lagamore to the side as you try to make up your mama jokes. Might as well go with the full fucking 9 yards with this ridiculousness. Alright. What else? You thirsty? No, not really. Good, because I'm dying for a drink, Vinyl hissed. And I see one right in front of me. I added, she hasn't had a taste of blood in ages. She'd just love to sink her teeth into you. Then you and I can be vampires together, Vinyl grinned. No, please! And again, I started. I've been having cravings lately. Haven't had anything in a while, and I've been dying to try pony. You wouldn't. I'll drain on above first, Vinyl cackled, pausing. But if I bit him first and then turn him into a vampire, and then you bit him, I wonder what he'll be. There'll probably be a vampire missing a chunk of leg, I roll my eyes. Ooh, better yet, what if he could be a hybrid? Whoa, seriously? I gushed. That's so cool. See, you shouldn't have turned me into a vampire. Ha ha! A vampire like it! He wailed. I don't want to be a freak! Skip forward a little bit. Oh, Vinyl dearie, can I see that knife? I tested the edge against my hoofs, sighing. He was uncooperative, unwilling to make any bargains or compromises. It was going to hurt. I pressed the blade into my leg, feeling it cut into my flesh. I gasped in delight, as if I was enjoying it, feeling the blood starting to run. I wanted to get him thinking. If she's going to do that to herself, what will she do to me? I dingled my hoof over his head, trying to look soulless as I drove my blood onto his face. He squirmed, screaming, as Vinyl's lips quivered at the sight. Mind if I have a drink? She giggled hysterically. Vinyl leaned in, lapping away and sucking at the cut. You're freaks! You're freaks! All of you! He screamed, thrashing his chair. Tell us what you know. Never! He began to lick my blood off his face, relishing in every drop. That can't be sanitary. He hyperventilated faster and faster as her fangs was near his throat, whimpering. Vinyl opened wide and he went, Okay, I'll tell you. Don't bite me, please. I don't want to be a lifeless husk. Help me, Mommy! Vinyl shut the door behind us. I think he wet himself. I'll get the mop. I also need a Band-Aid. You still taste delicious, Vinyl purred in my ear. Next one, a late goodbye. That's it! I'm cutting it off! Oh God, no, please, I want to stay a boy! Final! I said put the head clippers away! Why do we have those? We don't even have our garden! Damn straight! I'm using the safety scissors this time, Vile hollered, a pair of safety scissors in her deadly magical grip. What do you mean you don't know where Silver Streak is? I can't tell you because I don't know! We don't even have a meeting place, I think! Alright, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to spill before I spill your guts. Final bellowed, holding the scissors at his neck. Final, not on the carpet! Right. We'll move into the kitchen. The blood would be easier to clean. We operate as cells, he yelled. Little groups, part of the Silver Hooves, sprinkled all over Equestria in different cities and different districts. When he saw that Vinyl wasn't going to eviscerate him, he spoke more calmly. We got our orders through discreet methods, business cards, napkin letters, things like that. If you're lying. I'm not! I'm the courier of the cell that retrieves the orders, I swear! Where are your little friends hiding? I don't know either. It's all secret. We don't know each other's real names. We all go by code names. What code names? Ooh, that was a hell of a burp. I'm Silverstone, okay? Vinyl, I sighed. Go cool off. She begrudgingly tore open our balcony window, slamming it shut. I sighed. Silverstone. His ears perked. So why did you join the Silver Horseshoes in the first place? Silverstone slumped a little. I have my reasons. I miss him so much. Oh boy, here it comes. What stop star you got for us now? Bring on the waterworks. He sniffed. Vinyl, have a heart, I scolded. Newsflash, I'm a vampire, remember? We don't have hearts, not according to these guys. He's a bunny, Silverstone admitted. I resisted the urge to roll my eyes. My pet bunny Angel. My best friend. Angel? Where have I heard the name before? Oh, brother, Vinyl scouted. So what happened to Angel? Oh, I can eat him. Do you know this for a fact? Absolutely. What else could have broken into my house and gobbled poor Angel up? There was blood on the floor, and I know it wasn't ketchup. That has got to be the stupidest story in the world, if it's even true. Why are you so mean to me? You tried to kill us with a... What's this? Vinyl, is that a... Vinyl continued to hold the blade in her sizzling hoof, despite the fact she had a horn on her head. A silver knife? Really? That's the best key you do? Does anybody smell something Ow! 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 Serves you right! No, this guy is a dude. Fluttershy for someone. I don't know why you guys are asking Fluttershy, but maybe he also has a bunny, angel bunny, or something like that. Who knows? That's it, Vinyl said. Where's my torture kit? Wait, you have a torture kit? I watched her trot into her room. I turned back to the pale Colt, reassuring him. She doesn't have a torture kit, I promise. Here's Vinyl! He squealed, seeing the white mare levitating several objects in the magical globe. Our doorbell rang several times. I jumped out, snatching the devices from Vinyl. Opening the front door, I met with one of our neighbors. Though particularly peeved, with bags under his eyes and in need of a shave. Can you keep it down in here? What are you two doing? I glanced down at the whip and gagged on my hoof. I was sweating and my face was flushed. His eye charged, glinting with revelation. Oh, can I watch? I slammed the door in his face. My nose! He cried. I huffed. The nerve. You're so hot when you're aggressive, Vinyl grinned, leaning in a little, throwing a hoof around my neck. Not now, Vinyl, I giggled as she pulled me closer. She rolled on top of me. Our chest pressed close. A cough. Well, that killed a moment. Keep going. Just pretend I'm not even here. You can go ahead and kiss if you want. All right. Next morning. Beep, beep, beep. Boom. I slammed my hood down upon the alarm clock, shattering it to pieces. I rubbed my temple with a sigh before becoming accurately aware of the pony next to me in bed. I wasn't even going to bother asking why. Lionel, did we do anything last night? No, not tasting a thing. My head was throbbing, mainly due to vinyl speakers, currently put at a reasonable volume, blasting out a song. Are you listening to Sapphire Shores? Remixed, of course. And here's another fucking link for you guys to look up. Cascade Waste Love featuring Quadron. I'm not going to play that. It violates copyrights. Yeah. There were several muffled cries from the living room. He's still there? Uh-huh, Vinyl's head followed the beat of the song. I'm surprised nobody's come to get him. Those guards will be here eventually. She clicked her tongue. Eventually. What a waste of time. We learned something, didn't we? I tried being optimistic. Nothing useful, Vinyl said bitterly. I know you're frustrated. She replied, I'm more than frustrated. And if it weren't for my limited vocabulary, I'd be able to convey it to you in a much more refined manner. I stared. I never heard so many words with that many syllables come out of your mouth. I shook my head. Anyways, I'm sure everything will work out. We'll find Silver Streak and put her in jail. No. No? She won't be able to rot in jail. Why's that? I'm going to kill her. The eyes of a killer. Who? Vinyl means fucking business. I glossed over Silver Streak's public records, flipping through the manila folder. She was young, almost as young as us. Code and Maine seemed to be natural, not dyed like the rest of the organization. I felt a little uncomfortable staring at her mugshots. Her gaze was sharp and cold, devoid of happiness or joy. I'm assuming that her mugshot she has a criminal record. Not at all, Luna replied. Every pony has their face and side profile on record. Well, this is very short, I noted. Correct, obviously, because according to this, she is an upstanding member of society. I can't fucking English, Jesus. She is an upstanding member of society. Not a single misdemeanor or infraction, not even a littering ticket. Perhaps we could look into other things, I suggested, tracing my hoof over the page. It says here, families deceased on both sides. So it seems. I'm afraid there's no pony to look to if we wanted to learn more. Another dead end. I'm so sick of this bureaucracy, Vinyl snapped. We got all the evidence we need. The photograph, the note on our door. Why are we... What's with the banging? Fucking hell. Son of a bitch. I'm not even screaming. They're probably fucking... I got neighbors and they always like to fucking bash up on the walls and shit. I fucking hate this shit. Let me start over from that line. I'm so sick of this bureaucracy, Vinyl snapped. We got all the evidence we need. Photograph, the note on our door. Why aren't we grabbing this hayseed? We cannot prove it was her on such flimsy evidence. At most, we can connect her name to the note, but then what? She'll look like a friendly neighbor dropping a newspaper off at your front door. Eyewitnesses? Octavia's one of them. She met her. In a nightclub, yes, in which an exchange of a compromising photo that we cannot even show to the public took place. Vinyl, I understand you want to end this neighbor, but you must be patient. Well, I'm done waiting around, Princess. All we do is sit on our fat flames waiting for something to happen, she shouted. Vinyl was the only pony I ever knew who had the gall to raise her voice at the princess. In a way, it spoke volumes about her. Just think, Vinyl, for 1 second, she snapped, putting her down. We apprehend Silver. Then what? We remained silent. We detain her for a few days at most before her minions come and pay her bail. Talk. No action. Nothing gets done. As she tried away, I can hear her mumble. When something done, it's time you gotta do it yourself. Vinyl, you're not to go after her yourself, she bellowed, stamping a hoof, leaving a crack on the floor. Do I make myself clear? Vinyl waved a hoof behind her dismissively. I sighed. May I have a copy? I asked Luna. Of course. Do you think you could give me a copy of bank statements? Luna raised an eyebrow. Yes, although I fail to see what this would reveal, I shall request the papers as soon as possible. Thank you. One little impromptu meeting with the princess had me late for rehearsal. I found that those hours spent with my group were a brief respite for all the nonsense about secret societies, all the shit. I feel better. I was feeling better as of late, and it reflected in my music. Later into the evening, when the day was done, I expect to catch Vinyl on her way down the stairs going to her job. I usually do see her leaving. I twist the key to the lock, spitting the bitter copper taste out. The door creaked slowly. The apartment lights were dimmed. Vinyl? I dropped my bags, beginning to trot a little faster around the room. Something was missing. Though, not something. A lot of things. The entire apartment looked off. Vinyl? Her room looked bare. Her bed was still there. Her records, her set. A quick glance at her room revealed some clothes missing and a few pairs of shades. On a napkin in our kitchen table was a message scrawled in sloppy printing with an ink pen. Goodbye. And a link. Fucking hell, these links. And this one is... which one is it? An unavailable link. Oh, fuck you. Joyful. How close are we? Hang on. Let me take a look at this real quick. Because we're on chapter 20, Bright Lights. And... we're almost done. We just need a few more. We just need to do a few more chapters and then the bonuses. We can get it done. There's just something about our brain that takes a few seconds to fully process things. By the time I read the note and fully understood the meaning, I was in a state of panic. I like to think of it as our head giving us some time to sort things out before things really hit home. Vinyl was gone. I was alone. But wait a minute, I'm a part wolf, I cried, triumphantly dropping the note. I could just sniff her out. Bending down to pick up the note, I realized there was a backside. P.S. Don't try to sniff me out. I masked my scent with Victoria's Secret fragrance. Wait, they imported Victoria's Secret from our world? Anyways, let's meet up with the princess. Again. What do you think, princess? Well, if you excuse me for a moment, Octavia, Luna said. 3 thuds as her head solidly connected to her bedroom wall. Princess, she held up a hook to silence me, and she banged her head 3 more times. It is actually starting to look hurt. I think I'm done, she said finally, rubbing her head. Wait, no. She then slammed her head a few more times before there was a visible bump on her head. Vinyl scratch, you imbecile. What should we do? What can we do? What if she blows up the castle? Then we shall increase security. Vinyl is out there on the loose, intent on murder, princess, and I still can't figure out what she even has against this Silverstreak mare. Perhaps you don't feel the same way as she does because you fail to see things from her perspective. How can I? She doesn't say a word. She's an enigma, princess. Even when we promised that there would be no more secrets. Vinyl may have been doing all these to protect me, but I thought I made it clear I didn't need protecting. This couldn't go on. This relationship we had felt fake. The attraction was there, but communication was lacking. I am wrong to speak about this, although what I can say is that what Silverstreak did to Vinyl Scratch was unforgivable. That made no sense. Octavia, it is midnight, I am tired, and so are you. Vinyl does what she usually does, and we still cannot figure out how her brain functions. So in the meantime, perhaps we should catch up on some sleep. I nodded. By the way, the files you requested are over there. Thank you. On my way through the street, I caught a glimpse of Club Canterlot. It was still in one piece somehow, and looked on its way to being back in tip-top shape to service a club lifestyle. I didn't go home. I took that bundle of papers and went to the nearest bar I could find. It was the only place I could think. Back at home, things felt empty. At least at night, the city could keep me company with its bright lights. And there is a link here. Another link. And this one is Bright Lights from the Max Payne 3 original soundtrack. I've been at the bar until the crack of dawn, I suspect, drinking away my sorrows with sparkling water. I was just on my way out the door, the folders hid in saddlebags before I passed a certain pony. Hello, Octavia. It wasn't even a menacing kind of an introduction. That was the problem. At this time, I imagined some kind of confrontation with Silverstreak to play out in a dramatic fashion with Latin chanting and opera music in the background with lots of slow motion. So what I got was a mare that I just happened to bump into in the street saying hello. The velvet voice was enough to send a chill up my spine. Only this mare had all the evidence she needed to ruin my life, which made things personal. I already broke the cardinal rule of going after someone with malevolent intentions. You can't make things personal. She sat down and ordered a drink, some sort of cocktail of some sort. I didn't fucking care. Hello, I said, which was as silly as I could, slowly taking the seat as far away as possible, but within earshot. The bar was empty, save the bartender, who decided it was a good time as any to take a smoke break out in the back. There she was, in all her silver glory. I hated that dull color with a passion. But more than just her color, I hated her face. She was smiling pleasantly. It wasn't even a remote, malevolent smile. It was calm, admirable, and still betrayed some sort of superiority complex behind it. I wanted to wring her neck and smash her hoof into that smirk. Are you stalking me? Rip her throat out, tear her to pieces. Shut up. Perhaps. I smiled back a little toothily, my eyes flashing. You should probably bomb the place before telling me about it. Oh, I think I'll understand if I hadn't intended to kill her, she smirked. Think of it as sending a message. So this was payback for what happened at Equestria Daily. Though I had a feeling Club Canterlot will be up and running before you know it, she said. Quite. Amazing what taxpayer bits go for nowadays. Certainly didn't account for this, now did they? A shame about Silverstone, I said casually. A loss. Fraternizing with the enemy, I stepped over the edge. More appropriately, I'd slip, but that was all right. I'd probably jump over the edge more times than Vinyl crossed the line. Saying something, seeing as Vinyl liked to cross the line twice and do a little tap dance on top of it just to make sure she's done it with style. So why all this? Pardon? Why all the trouble? Why all the effort to spy on us, hunting us down and outing us? She said nothing, taking a sip. You clearly got some stock in this situation, I remarked wryly. I can't imagine a mayor who'd go through all this trouble trying to ruin my life, to have no reason for doing so. We all have our reasons, she said with stiff. Could it be because of what happened to your parents? And just like that, a little facade of stoicism faltered, almost as if I had scratched a glass wall separating me and her. A long, jagged scratch, and with my words I suddenly made something that was just business into something personal. You never make things personal. She seemed to stumble even in a sitting position as she whipped her head towards me, her eyes ablaze with fury. I read your records. Certainly can't be a coincidence, can it? Parents are murdered by what appears to be a wolf. You know nothing. I read the autopsy files. A timber wolf clearly attacked your parents. An unfortunate accident, now you blame us. Do not dare speak of my parents, you filthy mutt. You believe that lie? I didn't. I know who to blame. You surely can't blame all of us for happening. Wouldn't you? You're blaming an entire species for the act of one. Does that not sound illogical? And that's exactly where you're wrong, Octavia. It's not simply the act of one. How many times has a foal come home to find your parents slaughtered? I'm sure you can give me an estimate, I said. You're all monsters. Beasts. Look at you. You, of all ponies, could barely contain herself from hunting down a poor little bunny. Imagine if there was some innocent pony. This is a vinyl. This was from Silverstreak. My lip twitched. I didn't even want to consider the possibility that I could have injured another pony. What if, and maybe. I don't think I could live with myself. I keep thinking like that. But she was right. The possibility was still there, and there was no doubt in my mind ponies had gotten hurt along the way. As much as we all like to pretend, Equestria wasn't La La Land. Even so, she was a hypocrite. Who was innocent and who was guilty? Could she even distinguish which one of us done wrong? According to her, all of us were evil, and we all be going down. You're dangerous, and I'm going to show the world. Must give you some sort of satisfaction, yes, ruining another pony's life. Certainly embodies the elements of harmony. There was no other way to deal with your kind. So you must stoop to the level of an animal to deal with us. How appropriate. It's the only way. Right, of course, I said sarcastically. I was mocking her. I'm sure you have Vinyl in your clutches. What? Curses. Oh, it looks like Luna's right-hand mare has gone rogue. How interesting. Did she leave you as well? No idea what you're talking about. You'll find out sooner or later what kind of mare she is. Either she'll get to you first or I will. Mostly a bluff. A desperate grasp at anything to tip the odds back into my favor. Big talk. Look who's talking, I shot back. You think you got the upper hoof? She snapped, a little annoyed. Because I do, I said, tilting my glasses down. You've got nothing. I'm the one who decides whether or not you wake up in chains tomorrow and thrown into the F.R.E. forest, you dog. You still think I care about one candid picture? If you were going to another newspaper and see she was simply intercepted, you're lying. I was. Face it, Silverstreak. You lost your own bargaining chip. Fuck you. Ah, yes, I'm irresistible. I mean, look at these cheesy flanks, I laughed, shashing as I trotted away first. Though I suspect you're not into bears. We'll see who gets the last laugh. Ha! Ha! And now to the next chapter of the Underworld. Though I would have been the better mare, I would have been another imbecile to walk away. She was the entire mastermind behind all this. Though my carelessness, I'd just given Silverstreak a crucial piece of information, no matter how inconsequential it was. We were short one vinyl scratch. What did that say about the inner circle as a whole? We were weak and disjointed. Across the street was a quaint a diner, open 24/7. I wouldn't look too out of place, even though it was nearly empty, save for two ponies working to register. Evening, she said cheerfully. What can I do you for? Plenty of coffee. Now all I had to do was wait for the demon to walk through the door. Any day now. At some point I couldn't recall that I might have fell asleep. Perhaps I've been staring so intensely across the street I've exhausted myself. Or maybe coffee has the opposite effect on me. A brief jolt of energy from the drink made me lethargic. When I lifted my head groggily a few hours later, it was day. One of the employees was poking me. Impossible. I watched that door. I stormed over and shoved the doors open, and the bartender jumped. Mare, Silver Cold, Silver Mane, Silver Eye, Silver Cross, Cutie Mark, when'd she leave? Oh, you were that pony a few hours ago. She took the exit. Are you going to buy something or not? Well, hey! The next few days were a blur in my mind. I was just shuffling along from place to place. My parents haven't bothered to call or write in at least a week. Not that it bothered me in the slightest. As far as anyone was concerned, the culprits of the bombing of Equestria Daily and Canterlot were one and the same. There was a palpable tension in the air. Normally the weeks lead up to the two biggest events in Equestria, with heart-warming Eden and the Grand Galloping Gala, would be filled with anticipation and excitement. But everyone's on edge. The streets covered in snow, usually packed with wealthy ponies, strutting the latest winter fashion line, and bratty foals throwing snowballs. They were largely empty, desolate. Sometimes I think I've forgotten how to be a normal pony. I couldn't possibly begin to imagine what everyone else in Equestria was feeling. Our actions, whether we like it or not, had an impact on society. They had been spying on me for days, weeks, months even. My every action observed, recorded, analyzed. I was becoming agitated, to say the least. Silverstreak had been able to find me wherever she wanted. I was being watched and I couldn't do a thing about it. Paranoia was beginning to set in. I couldn't even take a simple stroll down the street anymore without looking over my shoulder. Keep seeing things. He nearly bit Harpo's head off the other day when giving me a pleasant hello. If my entourage noticed my behavior, they didn't say anything. For the most part, I've been able to work with them through our rehearsals. You may ask yourself why I find them incredibly dreary and boring, and I can only tell you to imagine a passion in your life. Something you genuinely enjoy doing, like painting or writing. Now imagine if someone told you that you keep doing what you love, but you have to do it their way. Paint or write whatever they wanted. We weren't making music. The music at the Grand Gallery Gala wasn't meant to be lively or passionate. It was just meant for background noise. In a way, our music was almost as repetitive, if not more so, than Vinyl Scratch's electronic music. My spare time was spent analyzing Silver Streak's bank statements. For the most part, I didn't learn a single thing. Anything before the past 6 months were insignificant. She, like all ponies, had to eat, drink, and sleep. Mortal like the rest of us. And she too purchased the same things we did. But I managed to narrow down 10 payments of a substantial sum, 500 bits, to a jewelry store on Main Street. She never wore jewelry as far as I could tell, nor did she seem like the vain type to do so. And before I could even investigate, I received a call on Friday night from Princess Luna. I thought you appreciated me telling you that tomorrow night's a full moon. I frowned. Did you call me here just to tell me this? No, but I have a present for you. I flipped through the booklet. A calendar. You shouldn't have, I said flatly. But the press part is personalized. It's personalized indeed, with a picture of the princess in sexy poses. Okay? Luna? You got something to tell us? And it even has a assistant to tell you when the full moons are, see? She pointed out a small picture of a grumpy wolf Octavia. Why is an entire week me be grumpy? That'll be you on your period. Nonetheless, I believe we may have found something. I cocked my head. Princess, I don't doubt your abilities, but I don't think you have very much time to go running around Canterlot. May I remind you that you are not the only member of the Inner Circle, Octavia. I flushed. Luna paced. Though it doesn't seem like it, Octavia, all the other members of the Inner Circle are doing their part to fix this mess. All over Equestria, though mostly in Canterlot, our members are currently scouting for any sightings of Silver Horseshoe members and where they're congregating. She gave me a small smile. We all look out for each other. Do not think you're alone. Photovenge and Hoity-Toity are just as frantic about Vinyl's disappearance as you are. We haven't had a meeting. How did they find out? The Silver Horseshoes may think of itself as secretive, but we can too. Have you subscribed to our newsletter? It was reassuring knowing some pony had my back. So, do we have a lead? A potential lead on Vinyl Scratch whereabouts. My heart leapt. One of our scouts noted an incident taking place 2 hours ago where 3 ponies were injured and paramedics had to come. Explains why you called me here on such short notice. What's more interesting that these ponies all have silver manes and coats. Potential members? No doubt in my mind they are, but what's more interesting is where they were. A local motel. They received multiple blunt trauma injuries, and one of them reportedly had a bite mark on his upper leg. Sounds like a scuffle with a squirrel, I remarked dryly. God damn it, I was hoping there wasn't any squirrels. 2 of them will have to breathe through a tube for 6 months. One had a fractured horn, another several broken ribs. The last had their jaw dislocated. I thought you had multiple blunt trauma injuries. You didn't let me finish. May I also mention a hemorrhaged diaphragm? Now it sounds like they've been mauled by a manticore. That's worse. Vinyl Scratch. Luna sent several photos of the victims on her table. I paled, surprised at the severity. Is she always this brutal? She is dangerous, and now she's off on a personal vendetta. I didn't know what Vinyl wanted, if it was the same thing that I was after. I chased the lesser of the mysteries, other ponies' crimes. I think I know why now as well. After meeting Silverstreak, she said something that implied that there may have been a relationship together. Something about Vinyl leaving her. That's correct. I raised my head. They were in a relationship together 2 years back. Are you telling me Silverstreak has it out for us because Vinyl dumped her? That is only half of the story, Luna explained. Vinyl cut off her relationship with Silverstreak only after she found out she was being used. As in using Vinyl to get her money? No, she was wanting to get to us. Let a Luder word sink in. She was extremely close to causing irreversible damage on the inner circle. Only Vinyl find out, and it didn't end well. Surprisingly, it did. Vinyl managed not to kill her. I suppose that counts. Luna sighed. Silver Streak fled for obvious reasons after Vinyl confronted her. Now, that would have been the end of that for Vinyl, but she managed to get away with some information about some of our members. Enough story time, I suppose, and on to business. Seeing as you're emotionally invested in her, I almost considered not sending you to investigate. When Luna saw the indignant look on my face, she added testily, almost. But I decided to let you go. You will go there and see what you can find, and you will not confront or pursue any Silver Horseshoe members. You will report to me your findings. Are we clear? I muttered, Crystal. The motel was a run-down sort of place. Seeing as the struggle took place not 2 hours ago, there were still a few ponies clambering on the opposite sidewalk. Rumors were already beginning to spread. I ducked underneath the yellow tape, and the night guards gave me a nod, permitting me to enter Room 3. A struggle had definitely taken place here. Broken shards of a vase were littered across the floor. An electric cord had been ripped from the wall, and I suspect it was used to attempt to strangle someone. Several drops of blood was on the dirty carpet. Pillow feathers were everywhere. Perhaps a pillow fight had been taken here and had gotten way out of hoof. No. Oh yes, Vinyl had definitely been here. The ponies in the hospital are the sign of her passage. What did that tell me? Nothing. Could I track her down? Not around all these, and I doubt they'll be able to pick up her scent out. I sniffed around. There were more than 4 scents here, and Vinyl's was the strongest. The others were fairly new. They're in the hospital and no Vinyl to be found, which could only mean other Silver Horseshoes. But the strongest smell overwhelmed my nostrils was vinegar. They used it to mask scent. Following the trail of vinegar would take me to a dumpster outside. I pulled open the nightstand drawer. Inside, a pair of headphones. Hers. Definitely. Among the broken shards of the vase, I picked out a lone purple shard. No doubt it belonged to her glasses. A trail had gone cold, but I still had one more lead. Hello, how can I help you today? Are you here to buy some jewelry? I'm actually here on authority of Princess Luna, and I demand to see your ledger. The jeweler blanched. Oh, of course! He thrusted the clipboard at me. I can't believe it actually worked. I scanned my eyes down the pages, noting signatures and purchases made within the last month. I squinted, and my hoof hovered over a box dated for last week. Princess Luna? An alias. Do you check who writes their name down on these orders? I narrow my eyes. Of course I do. It says here Luna ordered a pearl necklace for 5,000 bits. I frowned. Last time I checked, a pearl necklace doesn't cost nearly as much, and not to mention the address this was sent is in Canterlot Castle. My mistake? I lunge, catching the poor pony by his tie before he could run away. Now you listen carefully. I am in no mood for games, and I want to know who ordered what, when, and where it was sent to. I don't remember! Remember a little bit harder, I snapped, yanking on his tie. It was a silver pony. Came in asking about silver jewelry. Nearly cleaned me out. I didn't ask questions because it was the best deal, so I didn't ask why he needed so much. Told me to send to the water treatment facility. That must be where they are. I let go of his tie, smoothing it out for him and giving him a condescending pat on the head. Thank you. I'll be sure to recommend you to my colleagues. He laughed nervously. As fast as I could dial, how are we even supposed to use these things? I didn't have to wait for the phone to ring when Luna picked up. Princess, I know where they might be. Well, how'd you find out? It doesn't matter how I found out. I need you to send every pony available to the Canterlot Water Treatment Facility. Octavia, I order you, do not approach. I can't wait, Princess. Vinyl might be there, and I think she's in trouble. Octavia! I ended the call. Taxi! Anybody could tell you what Canterlot looked like. A shining white castle on the edge of a mountain with a waterfall pouring out the bottom. You see that waterfall? This was where the water treatment facility was, or at least the main part of it. To get there, you will need to travel to the industrial side of Canterlot, where there are no ivory towers to be found, just old, run-down buildings and such. The water treatment facility was a large warehouse building spanning at least an entire block. Even from here, I could hear the waterfall. No one around. No movement from the windows, though I doubt you could see in or out of them, considering how grimy they were. Two double doors served as an entrance. They were opened when I tried to open them. They were most definitely meant to be locked. Inside was a maze of catwalks, ladders, platforms, all the same color, a dull gunmetal gray. The sound of the rushing waters grew louder. One sip and I'd be taking a one-way trip down the waterfall. The fall would surely kill me. It was poorly lit and a tad on the creepy side. They knew I was here. I knew they were watching me, but why all this suspense? This was a trap, I knew that. There was a plan somewhere in this decoy. Yeah, I'd make a great decoy, distracting themselves with a poor, pathetic gray earth pony. I'd find Vinyl, a rescue would be launched. That's a great plan, Octavia. Luna would obviously be sending back up. Help was coming. The only reason help was coming is because I'd made things urgent. Because I didn't listen to her. Now I'm forcing her hoof to make a decision. If I was smart and actually listened, she'd spend at least another day before launching this attack. So why wait? Waiting could cost Vinyl her life, and I wasn't going to risk that, even at the risk of my own life. The things I do for love. Before I could give myself a pat on the back, someone slammed into the back of my head, knocking me out cold. Yes, a great plan. Genius Octavia activated. No more tears. Next chapter. This is 22. Holy shit. 22 chapters and... well, this is the second to last one before the bonuses, okay? They tortured her, the fiends. Vinyl sat before me, her body slumped over the chair opposite of me, sitting in a pool of her own blood, dried and black. Dangling above us was a lone light bulb, flickering and eerie. Our location was less than a few feet from where I had been standing when one of them took a hook to the back of my head, on the center platform highest above all the other catwalks, where all various panels and switches and boards were located. How long have I been out? Probably 2 minutes? Less than that? The blow was enough to daze me, and we were both tied up, bound by silver chains that dug into our flesh. I struggled. I tried to transform. If I was in my Lycan form, I could have broken out, but the chains were preventing me. I'd made the right choice. No pony can tell me otherwise. Vinyl was walking the fine line between life and death, and I'd save her. I'd save her. That was fact. No half-truth, not something to comfort me. At least now I could turn their attention towards me and stall. A quick glance at Vinyl was all that was needed to send me into a fit of blind rage. I had no words for the silver mare in front of me. I howled at them like a monster. But trust me, we both know who the real monster is. You call that a punch? His hoof connected with my cheek. My mother punches harder than you. Silverstreak stood a ways away, watching us from the shadows. Vinyl, I shouted. She didn't move. She can't hear you, she's unconscious. At the very least, she was alive, though in a condition not for long. You call us the monsters, yet you do this. Irony at the finest, I spat. She emerged from the shadows, the confident smirk on her face again. Monster, you can't even begin to grasp the concept of monster. You are monsters, and that is fact. Is that so? Silverstar, the handsome stallion you see before you, has his little brother taken from him by a vampire who's succumbed to the lust for his blood. Do I need to go on? My condolences, I said sweetly. I got a nice back hoof in the face for that. Still doesn't justify this. The ends justify the means. Some trite expression used by those who delude themselves into believing it. Jeez, Octavia. While few would approve my methods, you'll be surprised to find that many would agree, Silverstreak said, that I'm making Equestria a better place to get rid by getting rid of your kind. I burst into a fit of laughter. Oh, so interesting. Do tell. I still don't know a thing about you. I don't know who you are, and to be frank, I don't care, but it's interesting, no? What is? I swallowed, clearing my throat. It's funny. Two of us, out to ruin each other, intending to cause harm, and it's just odd. We barely even know each other. Are you suggesting I should get to know Boney before I kill them? Though this entire exchange, her other Silvercoat colleagues never said a word. Your parents were killed by a lichen. True, I said. Perhaps we would never know the truth, but right now I wasn't so sure it was a good idea to make her even angrier. You lived in Canterlot orphanages until you were, what, 16. What's your point? Nothing, confirming things I've learned about you, that's all. In the grand scheme of it all, Silver wasn't really a delusional mastermind. She was delusional, okay, we'll give her that. But she was just a pony like me and Vinyl. The only difference was she had the power of other ponies beneath her, and money and a cause. No pony deserved to have their parents think and light like that, I said quietly. Not even you. I can't even begin to imagine what it feels like. I looked into Silverstreak's cold eyes and said, sorry. You think that changes anything? You think it'll bring them back? She raised the hoof to strike me, but didn't. Words are useless. They're easy to throw out. Even the intentions behind them are not genuine. She then narrowed her eyes. You don't know me. Don't act like you do. This isn't good. She's trying to end this. I continued to shout, but I know what you plan to do with the silver you bought. Quite the ingenious plan. Poisoning the water supply with silver. A quick and painless way of doing it, I imagine. Next time you should spread your purchases out. She stopped and turning around. You looked at my bank statements? I'm impressed. You'll be surprised what you can learn just from looking at this kind of things a pony buys. You can tell if they're callous and materialistic or frugal and thrifty. Why in Equestria was I still talking to her? Oh yeah, stalling. Let's keep her talking. That's smart. You're quite the clever one. Thank you. She ended my moment with another swing at my jaw. I took the punch, working my jaw to see if I could still move it. Oof. This is what concerns me. What? I asked. You're too smart. No, not clearly smart enough, I laughed, seeing as I walked in here all by my lonesome. From my vantage point, facing towards the entrance of the water treatment facility, I could see shadows shift behind the massive Grime Street windows of the warehouse. Trick of the eye, maybe? No, she spat. No, well, I'm still here, am I? You're too small to walk in here. Finally, as she was due something like this, she deduced. But not you. Perhaps Vinyl rubbed off on me. I think you'll find I have a following, and there's no way you could defeat all of us. I never asked of her how many ponies she had armed to the teeth. She was telling me this. Why? She was nervous. She knew I had a plan, but didn't know what. Time to move on. Words may be useless, but words also have a power. A table was brought over. On the table, a camcorder, the film and the reel spinning. They were filming this or filming Vinyl. Oh, Vinyl, Silverstreak sang. Time to wake up. When Vinyl didn't comply, she viciously struck her. It took all of my willpower not to froth at the mouth. To my elation, Vinyl moved. Jolted up. Vinyl, I cried. My voice was sufficient enough to make her open her eyes. But instead of being filled with relief, her eyes were filled with fear. Oh no, she uttered. No, 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 no. Silverstreak explained. Vinyl put up quite a fight when we found her. It took down 3 of my best fighters. What are you doing here? She hissed at me. Now, Vinyl, show Equestria those pretty little fangs of yours. Tell Canterlot who's really behind those bombings. As Vinyl spat at her as she lunged, grabbing her mane and pulling it tight. Look at the camera and speak. Make me, she growled, looking directly at the projector. She received a blow to the side of her head. Why do you insist on making things difficult? She sighed. You want to do this the hard way? We'll do this the hard way. Blitz. We tried everything, you see, Silver explained to me. We beaten her, made her bleed, but she just won't comply. My blood was already boiling, but I remained silent. Oh, Vinyl, I promise I'll leave your friends alone. Was the cavalry coming? I sneaked a glance at the windows, but nothing. Vinyl said, You're an even worse liar than Applejack, Silver. Oof. Shit. Oh, shit. You'll go after everyone, I added. You're going to poison every supernatural in Equestria with all that silver? I swallowed. Are you happy? She seemed to make her stagger. What? You've won. You got your revenge on all of us. Probably the one that killed your parents. Are you happy? Just keep stalling. Just keep stalling. They're gonna come. They're gonna come. Come, come. What a preposterous question. Of course I'm happy. I'm ecstatic, she squeaked. So why do you continue to torment Vinyl? Oh, would I preferred I torment you, she sighed. I need a confession. Ponies need proof of the monsters that inhabit Equestria. You just see some pony to pin all this on, don't you? For the bombings? Once they found out who was behind it all, I imagine all of Equestria will be singing the same tune. So a confession, that's it? I asked. You're wasting my time. That was the point. Well, I'll say it. No. No? I want Vinyl to, she said childishly. I want her to know what it feels like to suffer. You I have no qualms with. You were just another pony I used to get to her. And her magical grip was a box cutter. Vinyl won't talk, but I'm sure persuasion with our new bargaining chip. I felt the blade pressing to my throat. No, Vinyl yelled. Don't hurt her. I'll say it. No, you won't. You say and she wins, Vinyl. I jerked my head at Silver as if to challenge her. The box cutter trailed downwards from my neck, the tip of the blade pressed against my shoulder, drawing blood. Stop it! Be quiet, Vinyl, I screeched. You say it, and I'll never forgive you. The blade slashed downward as I howled. Octavia, shut up! Come here again, do it! I screamed. Come on! The tip dug into my chest and dragged down. I was starting to lose my vision, sanity, and blood. 1 billion times worse than a paper cut. 2 long gashes on my chest, oozing more and more dark fluids. Silver added another one. I still hate paper cuts. I'd lost my mind. I was rambling in my head. Paper cuts suck, but you know tongue cuts suck more. Vinyl was screaming something, and I just couldn't hear her. Her pony said to taste all sorts of awful things, like paper, and then we get tongue cuts. I slumped over, not moving. Hati? Vinyl's scared voice asked. I couldn't answer. Hati, please, move! You're not... Stop playing around, Octavia! My vision blacked out, but in my hearing, it remained. I could hear Vinyl slowly regaining her breath as she let out a rage howl, a scream of anguish. Her voice a savage growl, hoarse, and with abandon she screamed again. She wasn't screaming words. There was distress, misery, and pure hate. Now do you see what you caused? Silver Street whispered. Vinyl didn't reply, but she said something else. When I found out you were using me, I was mad, Vinyl said quietly. Her voice was a calm croon. I could scarcely breathe. I was furious. I was ready to do all sorts of things after you ratted out my friends. I wanted to drain every drop of blood out of your body. My chest hurt. It felt constricted. My lungs felt like they were being crushed. There was a rotten smell in the air, metallic, bitter. The water was poisoned with silver dust from the grounded up jewelry. But now that you hurt Octavia, that, her eyes snapped open, is unforgivable, and this time there won't be anything left after I've finished you. She was choking on some sobs. Now that she's gone... I was on the verge of death, but not yet. I couldn't say anything. I wanted to scream that I was still alive, but my breathing had become so shallow I couldn't even make a sound. I'd stopped moving. There is nothing stopping me. Gunfire rattle. Oh shit. Gunfire outside. The other silver horseshoes are discharging flintlock pistols. And then an explosion of magical energy surged through the warehouse. Glass windows exploded, sending glass shards everywhere. She tried to flee as fast as she could. Okay, I'm gonna be stumbling my words with this because this looks like it's about to fucking happen. Shit is about to fucking hit the fan. From the way this looks, fucking strap in. We're about to go on a ride. Fueled by rage, Vinyl broke free from her chains. Silver tried to swing at her, but she dodged it and tackled him to the ground. Right where I could see the animosity in her eyes as she strangled him. Vinyl's eyes bored into Silver Star's. Even as her hooves wrapped around his neck, slowly crushing his throat tighter and tighter, her red eyes was never stopping stare into his, until her eyes met mine. Just when I thought I'd hear a sickening crunch from Silver Star's neck, she let go. She was crying, tearing open my chains. I collapsed onto my side, breathing sharply, and Vinyl was really crying. "You're alive!" Yes, but not for long. Outside, more gunfire rattled, along with the primal wars of lichens and vampires as they fought against silver horseshoes. It was a slow, painful process as Vinyl dragged the both of us along down a flight of metal stairs to the main catwalk, back towards the 2 double doors I'd gone through. An explosion rocked outside, tearing the doors off their hinges. We both fell back painfully as the fireball singed our coat. I hissed in pain. Vinyl moaned, trying to pick both of us up. A creak. The pathway we were standing on was about to collapse. Oh, horse apples. Vinyl scrambled and threw me over to the safety as it fell, grabbing onto the edge. I lunged, trying to pick her up. Pull me up! Pull me up! She screeched. By some little burst of adrenaline, probably my body trying to save itself, I dragged her onto the platform. She rolled on her back, panting and laughing at the same time. I stood up slowly, crawling onto the street where the action was. Every pony was there. Hoity, Photo, even Fleur de Lis was kicking flank. Luna had also come with a squad of her own night guards, wearing matching sets of armor. Both lichens and vampires, and the one fairy, for some fucknut reason, was working together. All of them screaming for either Team Lichen, Team Werewolf, Awoo, or Suck It. The moment my body fell into the light of the full moon, I felt its effects begin to wash over me, tingling. I transformed, and right before my very eyes, the wounds on my chest were closing. Still, they were probably scar. Looked like somebody played tic-tac-toe on my chest. Vinyl! Mom! I watched, my eyes softening as the brief family reunion happened. Photo commanded, "Honey, you need to get to safety right away." "No, Silver Streak is giving it away." "Vinyl, sweetie, you need blood." I volunteered. "Drink from me." "Octi!" "Vinyl, shut up." When she refused, I pulled her into a hug, pushing her head down. "Bite me." She sank her teeth into my neck. It was like a dull squeeze on my throat. "Good? Feeling better." Hoity called. "Oh, honey, I have one of them in a headlock." Photo let out a fearsome battle cry. "Ah, yes! Coming, darling!" Lyle grinned. I helped her limp along as we ran into the street, ducking as bullets whizzed over our head. Rounds sparked at our hooves as they struck the ground. Jesus, it's like a war zone. "Princess! Hello, Octavia! Is this not exciting? It's been so long since we had done battle." "Yeah, the last time was with your sister, wasn't it?" "Princess," I panted, "the water! They poisoned the water!" She stomped a hoof. "The barbarians! Don't worry, we'll take care of that. We must give chase to Silver Streak." "We don't even know where she went," Vinyl said. "The only way out of here is through the entrance." As if on cue, a carriage drawn by 4 of the burliest stallions I'd ever seen pulled up on the cobblestone road. Fancy Pants at the reins like a knight in shining armor. "Fancy! Get on!" the gentle colt cried valiantly. I grinned toothily, taking shotgun. Vinyl hopped inside, her head poking out the window as Fancy commanded his ponies to gallop. Down the road we went, taking lefts and rights. "There!" Vinyl pointed. Silver was taking the road from downtown Candlelight back to the main city. Fancy egged his stallions on. We were gaining on them, my muscles tense as we were neck and neck. Fancy stallions rammed Silver Streak's carriage. They rammed us. The carriage shook. Time to even the odds. "What are you doing, Octavia? Are you crazy?" I retorted. "Just a little bit." My legs coiled and I sprung from my seat, grabbing onto Silver Streak's carriage. My weight was enough to throw it off balance as I grabbed onto the edge. It tipped over. The silver stallions pulled in the carriage, detached from the speeding vehicle, and it crashed into a lamppost. Silver Streak and I were both sent flying. I landed painfully on my back. Silver, like a cat, regained her balance on her hooves. The stallions were having to deal with Vinyl. They just left me with Silver. I snared, bolting and tackling her, or tried to. She was nimbly rolling onto her back as I grabbed onto her, shaking me off. My claws scraped the ground as I scrambled to regain my balance. Silver smirked, readying a pose to take me on. The only advantage was my lichen form. All that granted me was strength, speed, and reflexes. But none of that would be enough if I didn't know how to fight. Maybe I should have taken karate lessons. Silver was much more trained than her cronies. I charged at her wildly, swinging and swiping my claws at her in every way. She ducked, she dived, she dodged. Even with the direct attack, she slid beneath my belly on her back, bucking hooves upward and catching me in the belly. Despite having been healed up, the gashes in my chest were still sore, and was enough to make me reel. Enough. Time to end this. In her magical grip, I saw she had a different gun than all her other members. It was fashioned completely out of metal, elegantly engraved, but instead of 1, she had 6 in the cylinder. She cocked the hammer and fired at me. Oh, she has the 6-shooter. Ooh, let's see what goes on. The rounds went wide, making me scamper and duck. The streets of Canterlot were narrow and lacking in any alleyway to duck into. No place to hide. She cocked the hammer and fired again. The bullet smashed a window. A third sent sparks flying on my feet. A fourth sank into the wall behind my head. I charged, zigzagging and ducking low as I galloped, straight at her. The fifth grazed my shoulder. Gah! Even for a graze, it felt like I'd been shot at. The feeling was akin to having some pony take a sledgehammer to my leg. Yes, really. Still, I stumbled forward like a drunk mare. The cold barrel was pressing to my head. Silver cocked the hammer. Last shot. I could see the silver bullet in the chamber. The trigger was pulled. The world exploded. Well, it would be more of... Well, alright. It was really my right eardrum. Vinyl tackled Silverstreak, disrupting her channel of magic. Still, the gun had gone off right next to my ear. A high-pitched whine is there. They were on top of each other, rolling and throwing punches. Vinyl got the upper hoof and was beating the living snout out of her, grabbing her by mane. Each punch forced her skull to connect with the concrete. No, Vinyl, don't! She snarled. No, Octavia, just don't. You know what I hate? When you read about some pony who goes on a quest for revenge, they're gonna murder everyone in their way, Vinyl ranted, pinning Silverstreak down. And then at the end of this stupid book, they found out that who they were trying to kill, and they pulled the stupid, I'm better than this, so I won't kill you crap. What's with that? Damn. Okay. Only Vinyl will find that moment, a perfect time to start ranting about literature. Finally, you kill her now, you validate everything she's been working to prove. I don't care. She doesn't even have to film to prove anything. She gets what she deserves. She wins if you kill her. That's what she wants. I approached Vinyl, saying softly, let the princess take care of this. She'll get what she deserves in prison. She doesn't deserve prison. Vinyl planted a hoof on her neck, threatening to apply pressure. All it would take was a little weight to break her neck. You're not a murderer, Vinyl. You haven't killed any pony yet. She certainly beat the tar out of plenty of ponies. Don't start now. She looked at me and backed down to Silver. Look at her, Vinyl. Revenge is never the solution. Just leaves nothing behind. Damn it! Vinyl pulled away. Silver was laughing raspily, cackling like a mare. You know I walk. You better kill me now. Vinyl growled, coming down upon Silverstreak with a hoof. No! I screamed. There was a sickening snap of bone. You walk, but with a limp. She screamed, clutching her broken leg. Vinyl approached me, pulling me along. You're bleeding, she stated flatly, pressing a hoof to my shoulder. Just a flesh wound. It passed through. Good. You might die. Maybe. We need to go to the hospital. Hey, shut up, I shoved her. We were both limping away from the fiery wreckage, leaving the destruction and Silverstreak behind us. Fancy Pants could deal with her. Luna would have this mess cleaned up by tomorrow with a cover story. If she wanted, I bet she could make this look like the work of a posse of clowns from a circus. She said, come on, Octi, let's go home. Another link to another movie. Max Payne 3 soundtrack, Health, Tears, full version. Yeah, you guys got homework. Last chapter before the bonuses. Let's get to it. You'd think that Silver would get charged with conspiracy or attempt murder of the first degree of at least 100 ponies. But instead, she was charged with possession of illegal firearms and explosives and pollution of the water supply. It did not rule in her favor. A bill was swiftly signed, banning all arms trade with the Griffin nations, and an address was sent out, denouncing their lack of authority over black market weapons. The Silver Horseshoes had purchased crates of flintlock pistols and silver bullets for her own use. For an entire day, all the water in the city of Canterlot had to be filtered and purified of the silver dust. Hardly an issue, seeing as tea was the preferred drink of all the nobles and royals anyway. I soon discovered afterwards that while we supernaturals will find a lethal amount of silver in the water to be 250% above the normal amount, usually found in trace amounts in the water we drank, the silver in the water could harm other ponies who consumed it. Not to mention irreversible damage on the environment. So she was so fucking mad, she was going to kill everybody, even killing off the supernatural ponies. Silver, you're a fucking idiot! You're so blinded by fucking revenge, you didn't fucking care, did you? Vinyl suggested execution to Princess Luna, but she clearly didn't agree, seeing as been an outlaw for at least 3 centuries. Ultimately, Luna kept details of Silver Streak's ruling from us, preferring not to satiate our curiosity. The only guarantee was that Silver was going to be locked up, serving her sentence for a very, very long time. As for the rest, they were charged as accomplices. I didn't particularly care about what happened to them. Luna was able to play up the Horseshoes as an eco-terrorist group, out to force change by harming the environment. Believe me, I was impressed how she managed to spin it. Luna and her night guards swooped in to save the day, with no credit to the inner circle. It was jarring to return to some semblance of normalcy in my life. I stress on the semblance. While I no longer had to worry about genocidal ponies after my blood, the wolf inside me did not seem as content. The desire to let loose and give in to the beast was tempting at times. I found that if I kept the cage inside my soul, it would yearn to escape. It seemed I haven't made peace with it at all. The time spent inside my subconscious, speaking to the physical manifestation of my inner canine, was only to beat it into submission to give me some peace for the time being, as I worked to fix the other problems in my life. The wolf in me was back, and there to stay, always wanting to be let out to play. Someday I come to terms with it, but for then and now, an agreement has been reached. My aggression had been toned down slightly, though I could say that I was much more assertive and a little brash and daring. I learned quickly that there was even more downsides to being a lichen, such as fleas. Oh, sweet Celestia, fleas and cats, and a tempting scent of prey. We earned our happy ending. I still don't know what that was. But anyways, there were no words said, no teary goodbyes or melodramatic things like that. Vinyl simply said one day, in the first week of December, I'm going to go for a while, alright? Go away, as in leave, and not come back for an extended period of time. How long was not specified. In truth, it was exactly what I wanted. Did I blame her for everything? Yeah, no. The blame could not be placed solely on her. I too brought this upon myself, not keeping my nose out of things. I wouldn't pester Vinyl anymore about secrets and whatnot. I know everything I needed to know. They say distance makes the heart grow fonder. Week 2 of December, Wednesday night, was the Grand Galloping Gala. I stood in front of my fixed vanity mirror, fitted to an impeccable tuxedo with coattails. Masculine, and I dare say I looked very charming. No Vinyl there to comment on it, though. I stood up, balanced on my hind legs. Things were looking up. Frederick, Harpo, Brass Beauty, and I stood in the same exact places we stood last year, with the exact haughty expressions on our faces. Once again, nobles in the upper class of Canterlot chattered the night away. The decorations were beautiful, the hors d'oeuvres were tiny, the wonderbolts, fancy pants, fleur-de-lis, hoity-toity, photo finish, and Caesar in the elements of harmony. Wait, who the hell's Caesar? With practiced hooves, we perform our piece again and again on loop. And again, another link, and unfortunately it's a dead one. Of course, being who I was, I got the hardest piece. Deja vu. I prayed that the Pinkamena would not show up again if this year's gala was meant to be a repeat. Instead of the bright, aesthetic design of last year's gala, it had a much darker, subdued theme reminiscing of Luna's Coke colors. If only Vinyl was here. I stumbled, my bow faltering. I quickly picked up my pace, making sure not to waver and get distracted. I was working. No time to think about her. Hey there! On the outside, my expression didn't change. I continued to play and kept an irritated, standoffish expression. On the inside, I was squealing like a foal. She was here! She was here! Care to dance? With a slight tilt of my head, I looked sideways to see Vinyl standing there in a dress from Rarity's Carousel Boutique. And she even has earrings on. Nice touch. Hello, Vinyl, I said stiffly, going through the motions of playing. Where have you been? Taking a break. I got a dress. I can see that. So, do you want to dance? In the middle of something. Oh, don't worry, I got a DJ. You? Hey, no, I bring the entire castle down with my bass. A familiar voice chimed in. Come on, everybody, you want to party? Let's party! Oh, sweet baby Luna, she's here, she's here, she's here! My eyes bulged. In a blink of an eye, the DJ has been set up on the little stage with the pink monstrosity at the reins. Oh, fuck. She's here, Pinkie Pie of all things. Vinyl extended a hoof towards me. May I have this dance? I looked back at my group. Harper and Brass Beauty nodded eagerly, the widest grin on their faces. Frederick, meanwhile, rolled his eyes and smirked. I set my cello down right there on the floor and jumped off, fixing the lapels of my suit. I grabbed her hoof. You may. Hey there, Bonnie. Time to rock this gala Pinkie Pie style. Starting off with a nice classy piece for all you rich ponies. Fly me to the moon. Vinyl and I took the center of the dance hall, holding each other up, standing upright, looking into each other's eyes as we swayed back and forth. Already we began to garner a crowd. Ponies murmured around us, but we didn't care. As far as we were concerned, we were the only ones there. I lead, she said. No, I lead. I'm wearing the suit. So? We giggled softly, our face closed. You love this, don't you? I said. What can I say? I love the intention, Vinyl mumbled. Philly foolers at the gala! Frankly, I am disgusted. We ignored them all. This is great, isn't it? Vinyl asked with a big smile. I smiled back. There was nothing to say. Suddenly, Vinyl stopped swaying so quickly, and we just simply held each other, slightly moving. Akti, she hesitated. I'm sorry. I twirled her around. For what? For everything, she choked. I suddenly leaned forward, pushing her back and holding for a pose. Finally, you twit. I already know you're sorry. You were sorry a long, long time ago. And now you're bringing this up again? I know, but I never said it. The best apologies are the ones you never had to say. I paused, twirling her around again. But what? Do you think this will work? Us, I mean. Hasn't it? No, I can't live your life, Vinyl. The assignment of danger. I can't do that anymore. Maybe once, not again. She said nothing. Will you be done with your work as a cleaner? Luna says I'm still suspended for my little stunt. Are you done? She was silent for a while and we stopped dancing. Yes. Do you mean it? I mean it. Promise? Pinkie, promise. And will you clean out the pantry already? I accidentally bit a grenade the other day when I tried to eat an apple. Hey guys! We turned our heads to see Lyra and Bonbon, and Derby and Carrot Top dancing beside us. Mind if we joined in? Lyra winked. Vinyl and I grinned. The nerve! I was offended before it was mainstream. Octavia, I demand you get away from that mare this instant! Ooh, fuck. And that last one was from? My mother and father. My blood ran cold. I did the unimaginable. I kissed Vinyl right there in front of every pony. It was like a big fuck you to all of them. There were loud, unanimous gasps from all the bystanders. and the kiss sealed the deal. I was an independent mayor. I had a feeling they tried to distance themselves from me. My parents no longer had a say. I watched my mother storm off angrily and my father trailing behind. No regrets. No doubt after this little stunt I'd be hearing my name a lot more in the news. Derby applauded. Yay, Phillies! She grabbed Carrot Top and gave her a smooch. That said, Orange Mirror blushed redder than an apple, stammering, Derby, I told you I like boys! Oh, oops. What's going on? An even louder gasp from everyone as we all knelt down to the sound of her voice. It was Celestia and Luna, who had finished greeting every pony as the two strode up with regal authority. Is she your date, Octavia? Luna asked with a twinkle in her eye. Damn her, she knew very well Vinyl was my lover. Now she's putting me on the spot. Yes, I admitted, Vinyl is. Best of luck, you two, Celestia said with a wink. We accepted her blessing. At the moment, the music suddenly kicked up a notch. I gasped. Luna bellowed, We love this song! Every day we are shuffling! There was no denying Luna. To everybody's surprise, Celestia joined her. I thought some of the older gala attendees were going to have a heart attack, but they reluctantly began to dance. Vinyl cheered. Now this was a gala. It was a night to remember. Let's fast forward a little bit. We laid in bed at our apartment, still wearing our suit and dress. Whatever happened to our little project anyways? Our little music project, I said. Oh, the classic electro mashup? Yes, we could have used the music genres. I don't know, we never got around to it. You still want to do it? Do what? Make music, I said, in the most suggestive, sultry fashion. It went right over her head. Yeah, let's start. Where's our playing sheet music? I rolled my eyes, slowly beginning to slide beneath the covers. Auntie, where are you going? I thought you said you wanted to make music. Oh, wow. And then we made music, and it was very, very sexy. The end of the main story. Now let's check out the bonus chapters. Vinyl's Made in Shades. Vinyl Scratch counted the bits she saved up. According to her calculations, she had just enough to get what she wanted. For the past few months, the little filly did as many chores as she could around the house while juggling her schoolwork. Vinyl had even taken up odd jobs here and there from her neighbors without her parents knowing. She did everything and anything, and nothing was too much for her to handle, and nothing would stop her from getting what she wanted. The next day, instead of going home from school, she went to the optometry. It was fancy inside and pretty empty. Eyeglasses of all shapes and sizes were on display. A grumpy unicorn with a pair of eyeglasses for a cutie mark sat up front, hooves on the table as he read through a tabloid. After several minutes, while struggling with the door, Vinyl mustered enough strength with her weak unicorn magic and her hooves to push open the door, ringing the shop doorbell. Welcome to... not you again. Huh? Vinyl cocked her head. She had been making weekly visits to the shop, checking out different styles and glasses and frames before finally settling on the one she wanted. Are you finally going to buy something, kiddo? I might have to start charging you for just looking. Vinyl gave her trademark grin and nodded. I've got enough this time. She held up her wallet and shook for him to see. You know which pair you want? Definitely, she pointed. Her hoof at the prize on the top shelf where the designer sunglasses were. The pretty one with the purple lenses. Of course. The unicorn chuckled and levitated a special pair out, floating down to the expectant filly. These sunglasses were a special kind that lacked any stems. They basically clipped onto a pony's nose bridge. You want anything else? Can I get custom lenses? Have an old pair? Yeah, she replied, handing him her old pair of glasses. Everyone at school teased her about her black round glasses with ugly thick frames, but as much as she hated her, the thing she hated the most were the color of her eyes. Grown-ups were too nice to say anything, but they probably thought there was something wrong with her. Foles, on the other hand, didn't have any problem with telling her that her eyes bothered them. 100 bits? Why'd you say there were 70? She shouted. She jumped up the counter and towered the unicorn. Are you trying to rip me off? Custom lenses, kiddo. They don't come cheap, you know. Vinyl sighed and jumped back down, slumping over, her ears drooping. She didn't have enough to spare. She shut her eyes and bit her lip, her eyes stinging as tears sprung to her eyes. All that hard work and she still didn't have enough. I'll come back next month. Wait. She turned around. Your old friends are still in good condition, and I guess I'll give you a little discount if you sell them back to me. Really? Sure, I'll even tint the lenses for you for free. Thanks, mister. Hey, don't mention it. She started to count out the bits she would need before the shopkeeper swiped the exact amount needed, scraping to a cash register and locking it. There'll still be any bits. Cheapskate! You betcha. Come back later, I'll have them done. Vinyl left the shop, walking out to Ponyville, losing herself in the crowd of much taller, meaner-looking grown-up ponies. She suddenly stopped in the middle of the sidewalk to examine her reflection. She needed a haircut, and badly. Her mane was an absolute impossible sticky mist of white clumps that made her head look like a cotton ball. Once, she recalled, she tried to run a comb through the disaster of her mane and lost it. Normally, she would go to someplace cheap like Pegasus Cuts, but even she couldn't pay them enough to even try to work with her mane. She finally stopped in front of the salon and peered through the window. It was dimly lit and had weird velvet furniture. She could hear some music that was in desperate need of some drum and bass. A pretty earth pony with the craziest hairdo she had ever seen was sitting at the desk, looking bored out of her mind. She spotted Vinyl and waved her in. She took a few tentative steps into the salon before she was suddenly whisked off her hoods into a chair. She got a much better look of the interior of the place. Scented candles were everywhere, and she came to the conclusion of, this place is weird. I assume you're here to be styled? She asked Vinyl. She nodded stiffly, nervous. You're very lucky. The pony told her as she began setting up the hairdresser station. All our appointments just canceled. Okay. Look what I got for you today, she called to the back room. A voice squealed hungrily. Let me get my hooves on this one. Vinyl was sure she was going to die. The desk pony spun Vinyl to her seat. Egad! The prettiest unicorn Vinyl had ever seen, with too much makeup, shrieked in horror and collapsed dramatically. The horror! The horror! Is she going to be all right? Vinyl asked. She does this time to time, but I have to agree, your name is a disaster. Thanks. We shall operate immediately. Wait, operate? Vinyl gulped. I changed my mind, I'm leaving. A cape was wrapped around Vinyl's neck. Darling, we simply must fix your mane. The way the hairdresser drew out the word darling reminded Vinyl of her rich aunts from Canterlot. It's no good for getting a cold friend, but I don't want a cold friend. Any preference? Any particular style? I don't know. Cool, I guess. Cool? Not very specific. Vinyl, why don't you take a look at this book and tell me which one you like? I'll go get some drinks. None of the styles suited her. Either too old or too much or too normal. Needed something that stood out. She turned a page, and I like that one. I've never been asked to do this one before. Was it a bad choice? I love it. She really does have style and flair. Vinyl flushed again and suddenly asked, what about color? Color? White is very nice. White is very nice, darling. Very rare, I must admit, for someone so young. You're telling me. I want it blue. Blue? Electric blue with streaks. How unique. She gushed. She clapped her hooves together, the lights dimming and the music growing louder. Let's do this. Are we done yet? Vinyl, darling, you cannot rush perfection. Vinyl was getting bored. Last time she had her mane done, she got out in less than 15 minutes, though it might have been due to the fact she has been threatening the barber with his pair of scissors. The unicorn spent the last few hours putting weird conditioners and shampoo in, washing her hair over and over and styling, and putting foil on Vinyl's mane and tail. She had no idea what it looked like, and this was taking forever. And forever is a really long time. Maybe she could reach a hoof out and change the music. She's in serious need of electronic music. It is done! Vinyl jumped and spun in her seat, facing the mirror, and her jaw dropped. Wow! She stared at her reflection. Vinyl could hardly recognize herself. So what do you think? It's perfect! Her mane is now much shorter, flowed like silk and bobbed with her head. Now she could headbang in style. It was spiky, cool, swooped exactly like she wanted it. And a little short in the back. The colors were striking and bold, a dark blue at the base of her hair and electronic streaks running through. The desk pony cheered. Isn't it amazing what foals are doing nowadays? Truly independent. Vinyl got up to pay. The desk pony told her, 50 bits! Vinyl's jaw dropped. She only had 15. She meant to pay only 70 for the glasses and maybe 30 for the nice styling, but now she owed 50 bits. Vinyl heart raced. She began to sweat. Is there something wrong? Was she shrinking? Though thoughts raced in her head. Was she going to jail or to the dungeon? Celestia will probably banish her and lock her in a dungeon. What if they made her parents pay? In that case, she would rather take banishment in the dungeon. Vinyl scratched on it. It's quite expensive yet, isn't it? She nodded humbly. How about I take those bits off your hoof and then you can pay off the rest? Okay, thanks a bunch, miss. What time is it? Oh, she has to go home. Her parents are going to kill her. Well, they were going to kill her anyway. Don't call me Miss Darling. It makes me sound old. Vinyl tried as fast as she could to the optometrist, and this time she practically kicked open the door. Hey, kiddo, your glasses are what? Hey! And Philly jumped and grabbed the glasses with her mouth and quickly ran off. Thank you! Don't break them! Don't break them! Vinyl stopped outside her house and panted, taking slow, cautious steps to the front door. Maybe her parents aren't home yet. She turned her glasses in her hooves, examined the quality of the tinted purple shades. The lenses were shaped in a way that made her look like an alien. She placed her new sunglasses on her head, letting them hang on her stubby little horn. It was still dark inside when she walked in. Phew. The light suddenly turned on, revealing both her parents had in fact come home from work and are lounging in the living room. Hey! Hoyty asked, Are you going to tell us why you were out so late? When he saw her mane and tail, he uttered, Oh, I rather guess. Vinyl Scratch, what did you do to your mane? Horse apples. You look like a delinquent, her mother admonished as she began to attempt to wash the dye out from Vinyl's huddled old male. I do not. I look cool. Vinyl protested before having her newly styled mane scrubbed furiously. Ow, Mom! Blue hair. No thought Hermione's gonna have blue hair. That's not the worst thing she ever done, honey. Oh, pony stink. They would think I look cool. Is this permanent? Yeah, I'm gonna get it retouched in a couple of months. Nah. Never. And now for the bonus. Another bonus. Jumping the goddamn shark. Meta. This one's a little bit short, thankfully. Once upon a time, there was an Earth Pony who played the cello, totally lame in every aspect, not to mention that Earth Ponies pretty much suck. This Earth Pony was named Octavia, who seemed like for maybe 5 seconds on screen for a cameo, and then people got the idea, hey, wait a minute, she's a musician. That wicked cool DJ Pony is a musician, so they both be lesbians. So one day, Octavia was like, my life sucks, my parents don't love me, I'm just going to move in with a DJ because I'm poor and my special talent sucks. And so it was that she moved in with this DJ because she was poor and no pony liked her and she sucked. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, somewhere in between the lines at the bottom of the page and the fine print written in invisible ink, Octavia started liking Vinyl because Vinyl was cool and wore awesome purple sunglasses and had a sexy mane that was spiky and blue. But since there would be no plot of Octavia suddenly just, confess her love to the mayor because obviously Vinyl was about as subtle as a goddamn hippo, painted in neon colors with Princess Celestia riding on its back, we didn't get swore when it came to Octavia because Vinyl Scratch also locked Octavia. But then there was more problems because if there weren't, there'd be no stories, so fuck you, Vinyl Scratch is now a vampire. Logic dictates that vampires make everything cool and attracts a good audience of Twilight fans and prepubescent girls. Octavia suspects something because she has no life and starts thinking maybe Vinyl is a vampire. Da da da! So after a whole bunch of plot, Octavia comes to the conclusion Vinyl is a vampire because if the author tried to stretch it out any longer, it would be boring because we all know everyone is there to read the good stuff, the vampire pony sex. So then Vinyl bit Octavia on accident. She was very, very sorry. Oh, Octavia, I'm sorry, I just bit you. This is starting to sound like my cynical ass take on it. I love it. Octavia was still bleeding, but that was okay. She was losing lots of blood, was getting all over the bed, and she said, It's okay, Vinyl, I still love you. I love you. Okay, let's be lesbians. Okay. But then there was another problem, because parents don't like Octavia being gay because lesbians. Because parents Vinyl now has an excuse to punch the living shit out of Octavia's mom because she is badass. Yee. In any case, the story should have ended by now because all problems are solved. We all know Vinyl Scratch is a vampire. The author ended up wanting base explosions and action and hoof fights, so he decided to make Octavia a werewolf. Okay, not a werewolf, a werepony. No, Lycan. Octavia is a whiny emo bitch. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, now the story sucks. The shark has been jumped. Now there are wolves. You wanted to see a jumping a shark? I'll jump over goddamn Jaws with a jump rope while singing When to Wrap Up on a motorcycle, riding down a ramp from the top of the fucking moon. I'm liking this idea. It sounds like a recap. The other is on cruise control, can't stop, okay, keyboard fixed anyway, because base explosions, we move on, skip past everything, which happens to include breaking into the bank, blowing up more things, gunfights, slow motion, club music, and drugs. In the end, every pony is happy, the sun is singing, the birds are shining, the flowers are burning, and everything is okay, because now Octi and Vinyl can love each other and make out sloppily with lots of tongue action, and then everybody is satisfied because they finally got their vampire pony sex, except for the lichen thrown in to mix. Oh god, how does that even work? Watch out for the teeth. And that's how things would have gone if this were a vampire romance. Are we happy? Yes, I am, because that concludes fucking My Roommate is a Vampire in one final fucking run. Fucking hell.